Well, hello friends, and welcome to yet another installment of making my best friend's shop out of dollhouse parts. You know, it's a scale down, it's a capturing of the vibe. It's not a perfect replica, but it gets the point across. We have lots of stuff to do this time. I want to try and get some lichens painted like they're creeping up the seams in the wood to kind of soften those edges a little bit. We also have tiny mushrooms that we will be painting and adding to the landscape. I'm not sure if I'm going to make them more fantastical and like color shift mushrooms. It's not to say that there's not magic in this calico universe, but undecided. We also have the tiny, oh my god, sorry for the jiggle. Eee, stop! We have the micro molds for the little horns that Sarah sells in real life. So we have to make some for the calico critters / Sylvanian families. It also makes me think that when I cut the ears off of the kangaroo that I'm going to turn into a possum, I should like embed magnets behind her, well, not behind her eyes, that wouldn't be good, but like in front of her ears so that we could just like snap on some horns and she can advertise her products. You know, like subdermal piercings, where people get magnets put in their fingertips so they can do party tricks. I don't recommend that. If you're watching this, don't do subdermal implants for fun. Anyway, that went off on a weird tangent. I should probably restart this, but God knows I'm not going to. We also have these that are left over from what we use for a wand rack. And after discovering that there's some concerning implications to the calico critters selling bone, because I was going to make like little divination bones, whose bones are they? They'd have to be fossils. That requires a whole nother backstory. It takes away from having an actual natural history person who does fossils. So we've leaned away from skulls, is what I'm trying to get across. And we are back to, oh my god, we are back to these little tubes, which I think if I cut up one of the tiniest corks I ever have seen, I can make them into corks that will fit this. It's a safe thing to put near your hand. It's a knife to cut cork. But she sells dice in tubes, and they look adorable, like little potions. And I don't have dice that small, but I do have peridot, like this, and pyrite that are kind of rounded, sort of. You know what would have been perfect is some actual pieces of raw garnet that were that small, because those are like a dodecahedron of some sort. Those would have been perfect for mimicking dice. We don't have that, so we're just going to put pretty stones in there, and we're kind of limited by what will fit in that tube. But we will get some colorful rocks up there and, you know, continue on. Keep going. So, I hope you will stick around as we get started, and I hope you enjoy my particular brand of chaos. If you're new here, I'm Erica, and this is just, the whole channel is just me doing a bunch of crafts and fomenting chaos in my own house. So, if that's your kind of thing, stick around. All right, let's get started. Well, hello. It is the cold light of the next afternoon. It's actually pretty mild light for my house. But anyway, if you didn't see, I had to use the teeny tiny silicone ice cube mold, which has really been coming in clutch for making bases for tippy stuff. Because you just shove a little UV resin in there, jam whatever it is that you need to have a square ass, and then cook it in the UV light. Also, don't forget that a UV light is a UV light, much like the sun. If you continue to expose the tips of your fingers to it, you can burn your fingers. You could also increase the chances of melanoma on your hand. So put sunscreen on whatever hand you're using to hold underneath the UV light. I would be willing to bet it's stronger than the sun because it cures resin in shorter amount of time than 25 minutes. So just a safety tip. Anyway, had to make little tiny clear square bases to hold these little friends up. They made me very angry and they tipped over a lot. So what do you get? You get an ass glued on you. You tip over, you get an ass. And now, hopefully my paper thing will still work, even though I use considerably more glue. But I'm thinking that we will dust these and make them fantastical. And then for the lichen dust, I've got some of the more vivid yellows and greens to mix. This is just not shaken. Just needs to be shaken. Oh, buff. I was going to say, like, what a color. It's in a foreign language. And I have this tree powder that I just use as ground cover because it covers up the shiny parts of the glue. I'm going to mix that with some paint and use those to paint lichens as though they're growing up out of this business. You know, just kind of soften the edges a little bit. Our little tubes came out great. And now we will get to dusting these. Again, when in doubt, make a UV resin glue butt for it. And then it will have a better chance of sticking on. All right, well, just wanted to update you. And these I'm leaving a little bit loose. They're just UV resined at the bottom to the moss. Because if I need to shove something behind them that's larger, I have a little wiggle room, literally. Okay. Yeah, back to it. Well, hello, friends. It is the following day, and I think that we did a pretty darn good job incorporating some lichens growing up the sides. They could use a little refinement. We'll work on that as we go. Definitely could use a little more refinement in here and some blending, but I feel like it's a good base to start with. And it does look, it's a little crude. We'll get better. We're learning. We also have that area under there for storage. You can barely see, but I'm going to put a little curtain back here. That's the color of the actual tablecloths she has. So I think the way we will finish out this video is to put in our mushrooms that we dusted into prettiness. And we'll place those, and then also, I mistakenly and unknowingly, because all the pictures look completely the same, ordered different colors of tiles. So now we have a mixed tile roof, and we'll put a little cap over the top. I actually like it. I think it looks better mixed, and I tried to randomize it once I noticed that they were not all the same color. I think it's fine. It just looks like we repaired the back side of the roof several times. And also we have lights to install, we have all the little horns to make for the shelving units. We have to install another item here and decide what goes there. We have to paint the cash register and then continue to learn how to refine our lived-in wood look. Anyway, I think we'll finish off by installing some of our mushrooms, and I hope that I have earned your like or subscribe today from this witchy adventure, and I sincerely hope to see you in the next one. Bye!